All righty. Doing our thing, getting started. We need some I don't know, beginning music or something whenever we get on here. While I'm doing all the administrative things of getting this started up. Let's see here. And all right. Dooby-dooby-doo. Not quite getting it. Well, all right, here we go. We're going to start without getting completely set up on all platforms. I'm going to make a note here for Michael that we have a problem with the Facebook Live thing. So if you're watching us from Facebook Live after the fact, just know I know that we have a problem there. So here we go. It is another Thursday night. My goodness. I feel like it was just yesterday that we were starting a new year, and it was January. And definitely a different conversation we were having. Real estate was insane. We were like, what's going on? Everything's slowing down. But then at the same time, it wasn't quite as slow even as it is right this moment. So I don't know. Real estate has definitely been keeping us on our toes this summer. Our team is having probably the best quarter as we've ever had in probably a decade. So I am very excited about that, but it also means that we are very busy. But we're doing all sorts of fun things, and it's summertime and the pool is open, and we have a lot of good, just interesting things. So I am... Oh, man, John, you're in the comments here, starting us off with questions already tonight. Let's go. Yes, I mean, I can talk about that for sure. So here's the thing, though. We are just starting back tonight. And if you are joining us new and you are a first timer, if you're not a first timer, I love to know, and our audience loves to know, where are you watching from? Just because... I don't know, maybe you guys are from the same area. I know that we've had people watching in the past that are from the same area of Florida or same area of California or New Jersey, and you live close, so you can compare notes on housing markets and what's happening in the world. So definitely love seeing in the comments where you are watching from. And then also, as you guys that have been here before, or if you're new, we answer your questions live here on the show. So welcome to the Greenville Gap. Let's get into it. Let's open up tonight, though, with some real estate conversation. As you probably see, Greenville is still making top 10 lists. I'm going to go into that a little bit later on in tonight's show, but I do want to take a good snapshot of what is happening right now and what is something that you should be aware of if you are looking to sell a house here in the Greenville, Spartanburg area, or if you're looking to make that relocation finally. Is it something that is happening this summer, this fall, or is it something that's going to happen from 6 to 12 to 18 months from now? I've been talking to a lot of people recently that it's a 6 month to 2 year decision. Maybe it's right now, maybe it's in about a year and a half. So those things that are happening, I'm used to those conversations. But let's talk about the market of the moment right now. I'm going to share my screen for you guys so that we can go into it. And we are going to share the behind the scenes look at, here we go, the stats for the greater Greenville area. Now, this is something that definitely I think it's really good for you guys to know. So let's look at these top numbers here. So units up 29.7% year over year. We are up 30% in volume. Note that. But then look at these numbers. 0.3%, 1.7%. These two numbers right here, here's what I can tell you about this. This is indicating a market that is changing, a market that is flattening out. We are not losing value of homes, but we are flattening, which means that, I mean, the average price being 400 or high 300s. I'd actually look at this number down here. These numbers are also very, these are solds. The numbers up here are actives. So the average that we are looking at, and then also look at the solds here compared to the actives up here. Here's what the story is. We have a lot of houses on the market, and we have a lot more houses, almost 1,000 more houses. I mean, 700 right now, more than last year this time, which means we have rising inventory. Here's also what I'm seeing. We are seeing more home sales. The volume number is up. So that tells me that houses are more expensive and there are still houses selling. Then we have 4.7% average price. I mean, that is not a huge change year over year, $18,000. The median price has only changed 1.6%, and average days on market is up. And I really am interested to see as the year continues. We have so many things happening in the world right now that I think we're seeing some changes on the horizon. I'm very interested to see what the current administration does with interest rates. I know that that's a conversation that we normally have with a lender, and it's conversations that are had months and months and months in advance before they ever actually make it out there. So that's what I'm seeing here is we are fast sliding in to a buyer's market. And what that means for sellers and what that means for buyers. If you are a seller right now in the housing market, look at your surrounding inventory. Look at how much the inventory is, how many the inventory, and then the prices. And you need to price somewhere around, I would say 7 to 8% lower than your competition. And that's just one of those things that I know is hard for a home seller, especially if you've invested a lot in your home, to price it lower than everything else that's around you. But that's what's going to sell a house right now. And I know it's hard. The conversations that I'm having right now with my local home sellers, it is a hard conversation around, okay, like you want to do this, it's time to sell. Here's what the market is saying. And having a good realtor who knows these market stats, this is the important thing. This is what you need to know as a home seller, that if your home is not selling, I know you don't want to hear this, but you need to price competitively. And to price competitively means pricing lower than your competition or having a fantastically better condition of your home or to be in a fantastic location. There are still areas around Greenville that are selling for multiple offers, list price, all of those things. And it's just one of those things that as we are looking at these stats here, home sellers, just, if you want to do it, let's do it right. Because if your home sits on the market for more than about 2 weeks and you don't have an offer, it's usually, before you attack the price, go look at your pictures, rearrange them, make sure it's syndicating out to all of your websites that it's supposed to. This is what your realtor should be doing for you. And then I would say give it a 2 or 3 more days and you still don't see the showing traffic or an offer, then it's time to make the price adjustment. So it's 2 weeks or it's 10 showings. So around 10 to, I usually, for our listings here, I do about 10 to 12 showings. When we don't have an offer in hand after that, then we have to have the price adjustment conversation. And that's the home seller conversation. Now, on the flip side, you are looking to buy a house. If you don't have to sell a house right now, fantastic. You are in the driver's seat. You have negotiation power. It is awesome. And I guarantee you, every home seller that you go to loves to see you because you don't have a home sale contingency. So we deal with a lot of people that have cash transactions or very, very large down payments without home sale contingencies. But we also work with plenty of people that do have home sale contingencies, and then you go about making your move. But you've got to get that house under contract and then go fall in love with the house you're going to buy. But here's the cool thing for you guys that are looking to buy a house. The market is primed and ready for you. This is your time, because right now people are sitting on the market for an average. Look at this. The actives right now, average days on market is up 6.1% year over year. This is looking like over 2 months on market is the average. And that's just one of those things that taking a deep breath and going, okay, like we've got to price it right. That's the important part. And then also looking at these sales inching up there to 2 solid months on market. I think by the end of the year, we're going to see this number inch even closer to the 3 months on market. And we're going to see the average price and median price continue to stay level. Now, here's something else, and I'm going to talk about it without our graph up here. I was going through Facebook today, and I saw one of my friends. He very much is in the political world for real estate. And so that's what is really interesting. But he was sharing information and he shared a graph. I wonder if I can find it really fast. That I thought was really interesting and it was good to know. Let's see here. Let's go see my friend Stan here. So my friend Stan shared a graph, and we're going to just shout out to Stan. You're cool. I think you're awesome. Look at this. So one of the things that he notes, look at this, January 1965, and this is units over here. And all the way up until about 2008, that was the housing crisis. Boom, everything dropped back. Look at this. This one here at the end, this one here during the housing crisis. The housing recession. We are at the same numbers now as we were back then for how it's taking the time to sell a house. Does that mean that it's a bad time to sell a house? Absolutely not. You have your equity and you are definitely seeing that so this graph is for existing home sales. This does not take into account new construction sales. That is actually what is up right now, is these new construction sales. And that's what's not shown on here, but we are actually, and he says over here that we are at the lowest level of existing home resales, like the lowest since 1996. It's been a hot second. Same numbers are showing up from the housing recession. So if you are selling your house right now, let me give you some encouragement. Price it right. You will be fine. Have a realtor that knows what they're doing. That's important. Has a good, strong marketing plan. Don't get your feelings hurt whenever they tell you the price and if it's too low. And then finally, keep going at it. You will get there. You will be able to sell your house. For a home buyer, though, the really good news for you is that you have negotiation power, and you have more and more the longer a house is sitting on the market. So just know that. All right, so let's go over here. Let's take a quick break of the real estate talk and go over here to the comments. Let's see who we have watching. And again, if you are watching, let us know. Say hi in the comments. Let us know. All right. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, power is out in the house. Golly. John, I saw this on the news and was like, holy moly. So the bridge that is out is definitely one of those where they're working on designing a new bridge, they're working on fixing it. I have actually had more houses. There's actually a bridge down the road from me that is also out. And I saw another one today that they were doing a lot of work, and they're doing work on the Washington Street Bridge downtown. So I don't know what's up with the bridges around here, but apparently it goes along with our road issue where we are, I don't know, our roads need more work. We all know that. All right, drinking chai tea tonight. It's a thing. Needed something warm. Let's see here. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Been talking to Christy a lot. Oh, look at this. Deltona, Florida. Hello. So excited. Yes, moving to Greer. The Rouleaus. Hello. I did enjoy my vacation. Thank you for saying it was good. It was good. We went to the Outer Banks, and it was just great to get away. Let's see here. What else? Okay. You're looking to move to Seneca. Happy to help. I actually have one under contract that is out in that area right now. Let's see here. Ooh, this is a great question. What causes a house to come on the market, go under contract, come off contract multiple times, and notice it's cool. So here's what I can tell you about this. There are so many factors to a house going under contract, falling out of contract, going back under contract. It could be a lot of different things. It could be the buyers changed their mind. It could be that they couldn't get through repair negotiations. It could be that the buyer messed up their financing and fell apart. It could be that the buyer couldn't sell their house, and so the home sales contingency. It could be that the house didn't appraise. I just had one that didn't appraise yesterday. So coming to an agreement on that. It could be a seller thing. I actually just heard a story from a realtor friend that said that it could be a time of life thing where maybe the seller isn't actually ready to sell their house, or there's a fear around selling their house. So there's a lot of different options, possibilities why a house does that. But what I do is, if you are interested in a house like that, just let me know. I'll give the agent a phone call and I'll ask. Who knows? Maybe they'll tell me. All right, let's see here. Glenn, I am so happy that you are a Christy fan. She is awesome. She works so incredibly hard, and Christy's amazing. Yes. All right, let's see here. Todd, I'm excited to see you. You're coming in town. Currently 117. Is that 117 degrees? Oh my word, please tell me that's wrong. Oh geez. All right, let's go back up here to Diane's question really fast before we jump into tonight's show articles that I've got. Will people pull their houses off market once school starts? And if they had not sold by then, we hope to be down there by September, October to buy. Oh, how exciting. So no, actually, people still have their houses on the market. We still sell plenty of houses. There's still lots of inventory. And I think this year there will be even more inventory than there has been year over year. So I'm very interested to see how the rest of this year goes. I think we're going to see houses stay on the market longer. I think we're going to see more inventory coming to the market. And then I think we're going to see prices either hold steady or see a small depreciation, which means that the average price point year over year actually goes down. So we'll see. Right now we're holding steady, flat, which means for you as a buyer, that just gives you negotiation power. And I think that's really cool. All right. Question on a homestead or full tax exemption for a 100% total permanent disabled veteran. I think I would want to get you in contact with our county offices to get the correct answer to that. I believe that there is some form of exemption for you, but don't quote me on it. And I have the right connections at the county office to ask, or we can ask my closing attorney. And then Glenn, could sales pick up when the kids are out of school for the summer? Yes, they do. Like we have seen this May, June, July, everything is picking up. We've been very, very busy. The seasonality year over year is the same. And it is something that we typically see more people put their houses on the market, more people buy houses over the summertime. But I will tell you right now that over half of our buyers are retired or soon to be retired. So school doesn't really matter. And our home sellers, I think I have one client that has school-aged kids right now that is selling a house. So I don't think it's just that either. Here we go. John, I'm not sure, but I could definitely look into that. Hospitals and medical offices in Seneca. Be honest with you, I would have to ask, and I've got enough nurse contacts or healthcare contacts that I could get you an answer. All right, so let's go into our articles, the things that I thought was interesting for the week. And I always am interested in what is happening in Greenville, in Spartanburg, that is noteworthy. Things like developments, affordable housing, businesses, and then updates on some of the really large projects. So I do want to go into why the Greenville market, even though what we just went over looks like it is a even market, buyers, sellers, so on, negotiation power. I will go over specifically for Greenville, though, what we are experiencing, how many people are moving in, everything, and why. But first, let's look into some of the development here. So first things first, we have some affordable housing that is coming in. And this is actually a historic building downtown Greenville that they are looking to put in 52 apartments off of Hampton Avenue. That, I think, is right next to the Hampton Pinckney Historic District, downtown Greenville. And the biggest thing here is, I actually thought this was really kind of interesting. In 2025, the median family income, not the average, but the median family income for the Greenville metro area was $97,300. Makes me wonder what the average family income, but that's for a family of 4. And they are making sure that there are some affordable family units in these apartment complexes. So specifically, there will be 6 units reserved for families making less than 80% of the area median income. And then there's 5 reserved for 60% of the median income. These things are important. And the reason why I'm bringing this up at all is because downtown or close to Greenville, you have a lot. So I think of things like happened during COVID. I've been having this conversation a lot. Our service industry took a hit. Our if the people who work on tips, who worked in restaurants, the service industry, they took a hit. What's also happening is people who work in those industries, and they need to be close to downtown because that's where they work. And maybe they can't afford to live downtown, or they can't necessarily even to afford 30, 45 minutes outside of downtown, where maybe they could afford to live more comfortably financially because of what their income is. So it's a catch-22. It's something that I specifically want to be aware of. And when I see affordable housing, I think that's a good thing, because then it keeps good people that are able to hopefully live closer to downtown that work there, and maybe need the closer to commute, or need to be able to walk or ride a bicycle to work. Because there is one thing we know, and I talked to somebody else today, that public transit here in Greenville, while it is slowly but surely getting better, public transit is not a huge thing. Greenville gets a very, very low score on this whenever you look at the internet. And it is one of those things. So seeing the affordable housing, I know these are apartments, but they're affordable housing for a little bit of the lower income renters. And I think it's a good thing. I think that's needed. And, we should be paying attention to it. All right, so other items here. So this is fun, and this is a really good, just quick update. So we know that there is a $1 billion project going on downtown in the County Square area. So County Square is where the government offices for Greenville County used to be. They have moved back. But look at this. I love seeing the renderings. This is so much fun. Occasionally I get over there and I drive it. But this article starts with, is a rooftop cinema coming to the County Square development? So they've given us some renderings. If you go out there now, it's just flat. It's just dirt. And they are doing all of the prep work to build up, because these buildings are not small. They are not just 2 or 3 stories. They are every bit of 6 to 10 stories. And so specifically, this article goes through and talks about, okay, is there going to be a rooftop cinema downtown? I think this would be so cool. And it's part of the County Square development. So this article goes a little bit deeper than just talking about a movie theater, essentially. This picture right here, I think, is one of the best pictures that shows this development. Now, just to give you your bearings, if you're looking at this picture, over here is the Grand Bohemian Lodge. Right here is Falls Park. Then over here is the Peace Center. And then then you have Floor Field over here. So this development right here, and this is also just down the road from the Washington Street Bridge. which is causing so much traffic downtown right now. It's not even funny. I know all the back roads around downtown to get around this stuff now because I'm impatient and I don't do traffic very well. So anyways, looking at this picture right here, the green buildings in this picture are already there. So this one over here is a parking deck. This one right here is where the Greenville County offices are. They've moved back over here. It's a beautiful building. It's kind of fun to drive over here to see what's going on. I pass this at least once a day right now. The light blue buildings are buildings that are coming into the development next. In about 2 to 3 years, these will be done. These are apartments, condos, and then the first floor is all going to be retailers, restaurants, etc. So the light blue buildings are what is getting built first. Then the next ones, so these orange buildings are a 3 to 5 year timeline. And they are, I bet you anything, this one over here, there's a grocery store coming into downtown. Downtown needs that. It's a little bit of a food desert. Then over here, you have some of the other very large retailers coming in. So that's exciting. Then you can kind of see these drawn in buildings around here. And these are the buildings that they haven't quite solidified those plans yet. And those are the coming soon. Could be 3 to 5 years, could be more like 5 to 10 years. So this is the $1 billion county square development that really is just going to, I mean, it's just expanding downtown out. And I think it's really cool. So being able to see that Whole Foods is coming in, Pottery Barn, Williams and Sonoma. Then you have others. You've got a couple different social bars, restaurants, lots of restaurants here. We've talked about this before. They've all been announced over the last 2 years. And I mean, who knows what else might come in? There's a lot of space available. And this picture here, I know it's just a rendering. Areas like this just make downtown Greenville all the more walkable. It gives you more things to do, more things to go and see. And I really think it's cool. So they announced this back in 2023 and have been working on it, pulling, site prep has been pretty big. So every time they announce something new that might be coming to this area, I think is really cool. And it's just something that I look forward to seeing someday. All right, next thing here is we have another business coming into Greenville. So New Jersey-based logistics business is coming to Greenville. And this is, of course, a transportation business that's, again, we're looking at tech, so on. And whenever I see stuff like this, that it just tells me that Greenville's economy stays really strong. And there's more than just 1 or 2 types of industry. So I like to bring this up. This was announced. This article was released yesterday. And anytime you see this, I have a lot more people that are relocating here for jobs right now, rather than just relocating to Greenville because they want to. So that's kind of cool that that's happening also. Okay. Another development, this one here, also, we've got this was the first time that I actually saw a 2027 plan. So a lot of the times whenever we look at the plans, you see 2026 coming in 2026, 2027, this one was cool. So this is going to be called Backyard at Pelham, and it's actually taking over a old movie theater space. off of Pelham Road. And again, it's just a lot of retail. It looks like they're going to be putting in some green space, restaurants. Conversation I was having today with some prospective people looking to make their relocation here. This is what Greenville or the Greenville Spartanburg area is about. We live outside, we do life outside, and being able to see like, okay, what do I want to be close to and what's important to me? So hospitals, grocery stores, things to do. Really, you can get almost anywhere around Greenville in about 30 minutes. Now, if you are out in the Seneca area, or Anderson, or maybe even some of the further reaches of Spartanburg, then yeah, it could take you up to an hour to get around from like Seneca to Greenville, Spartanburg. I went out to Gaffney for a client of mine not too long ago, and that was a haul. It took us about an hour and 20 minutes, and we started in Greer. So that was a haul. I don't do that terribly often, but they wanted to do that. So anyways, I say all these things to say that we have many, many different developments coming soon. And it's just something that just makes Greenville better, which I love. All right, let's go over to comments. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. Oh, hey, my friend. I hope you are enjoying Taylor's. Let's see here. Love it. Moved here from Florida. I hope you're enjoying it. This heat is different than Florida heat, I think. It's definitely more humid here. Mark, you are correct. Can never have too many awesome coffee shops. There are a lot of them, and I like to see that they use either their own roasted coffee beans or locally roasted coffee beans. That's important. I'm looking forward to our coffee date whenever you come into town. That's exciting. Okay, let's talk real fast about, and then we'll talk about this and wrap up. All right, so I know this is a little bit of an older article, but I think it is still true today. Greenville is forecast to be one of the country's top housing markets in 2025, and here's why. Wow. So we have been talking about this basically all evening, and it is one of those things that you just can't get around, that it is cheaper to live here in the upstate South Carolina. The national average of pricing for housing, and that's the majority of the reason, national average is actually upwards over $400,000 now for a house. Here in Greenville, it's still below $400,000. And I think this ebbs and flows. We've seen our average price point for homes. It's been sitting between $315,000 and $350,000. Occasionally I see it jump up to $375,000, $380,000. And then it comes back down a little bit month over month over month. But this article, and again, what it is we're looking at the migration rates. We're looking at where people are coming from. I've talked to a lot of people that are coming from up north. And this is the time of year that I start talking to you guys, because where people are moving from and why they are moving. A lot of people move places like Charlotte or Charleston, bigger cities, because they want the amenities that a big city has. For example, my parents came, they lived out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it was an adjustment coming here because they just didn't have everything that they had available to them in the big city of Dallas. Greenville's a lot smaller. Instead of 5 minutes to a grocery store, it's 15 minutes to a grocery store. That's pretty normal. instead of, I don't know, 5 minutes to a hospital, it could be 10 to 15 minutes, upwards of 20 minutes to your closest emergency room or urgent care. And our area is quickly working to make that better. So whenever we see this, I mean, Greenville, so not just Greenville, Greenville Spartanburg. So Greenville Spartanburg is actually, they hyphenate it and they make this, because Spartanburg's a big, is also coming up in the charts where we are being named. I mean, look at this, Greenville Anderson, Greenville Spartanburg. This is happening all over the place, but we are definitely in that top 10 list. Look at this. The list also includes Boston, Charlotte, Indianapolis, Knoxville, Kansas City. I think this is so interesting. Later in the article here, I mean, look at this. Between 2000 and 2020, so Greenville County's population rose 38.4%. That is an average of almost 11,000 people per year that is coming here to Greenville and Greenville upstate. So it's definitely something that I'm looking at and going, okay, this is not slowing down, but are we going to get overpopulated? That's a question that I get quite often. Are there too many people coming here? Is the South losing its charm? I had a really interesting conversation today about politics. Are they going to be able to make friends here if they're not Trump supporters? Because we do live in the conservative South. So, and I feel like I can confidently tell you that you won't have a problem with that, because the upstate is a really good mixing pot of just lots of different thoughts and beliefs and people, and just, you've got to find your people. So with this, we are looking at Greenville's populations continue to rise, but it's definitely becoming one of those things where people are moving from places that they have more equity in their homes, or people are sick and tired of paying super high taxes, or they are, I don't know, like your $800,000 house. I've got a couple people that are moving from the Chicago area, and what they can buy there for $800,000 with a condo or something that has a tiny yard, they can buy a 4,000 square foot house on half an acre here for the same price. So when I look at that, no wonder people are still moving to Greenville. So it's definitely what we're looking through. We're talking about constantly the market. We're talking about why people are moving here. And I think it comes down to a lot of different things. Sometimes it comes down to weather. People are done with snow. They're coming from up north. Or maybe the area that they moved to. I hear this conversation from my people that live in Florida. Maybe it has become a little too overpopulated, or traffic, or politics, or health reasons, or retiring and it's time for something new and they want to live somewhere that there's a lot to do, but they don't want to live in a big city. There are so many reasons and so much that goes into people wanting to relocate here, which I love. And I am totally biased about our area. So anyways, y'all, all right, well, thank you so much for joining, and we will chat with you again on another Thursday night. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will talk to you later. Stay cool, everybody.